Hey, what's up guys, it's Samer. How are you guys doing today? Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Today, we're going to be doing my 2018 NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series playoff predictions. Now, this is really sloppy, I know. I did this with the Snapchat app because I had to figure out some way to do this at school with my phone. So I did the Snapchat, and then I lowered the text onto the bracket. So that's why it's so sloppy, but you get the idea. So we're going to do my playoff predictions. We got 16 drivers: Kyle Busch, Screwex, which is Martin Truex Jr., Harvick, which is Kevin Harvick, Hammy, which is Denny Hamlin, Brad K, which is Brad Keselowski, Clint Boyer, Joey Logano, Kurt Busch, Larson, Bowman, Johnson, Almirola, Jones Boy, which is Eric Jones, Elliott, Chase Elliott, Austin Dillon, and Ryan Blaney are the 16 drivers that are in the Monster Energy playoffs for 2018. I'm not calling it the playoffs, it's the chase. I will never call it the playoffs. It's the chase. It'll always be the chase, and I refuse to call it the playoffs. So we have 16 drivers. If you guys don't know how it works, we get 3 races in to the 10-race chase, and then we eliminate 4 drivers after every round. So we have 3 races in each round, besides the final round, which is just 1 race. We have 3 races in every round, and then after each round, 4 drivers, the lowest of the 4, are eliminated from the chase, and then we go on to the next round, and that happens again, all the way up until Homestead, which the best of the final 4 finishing drivers win the championship, which I don't really like because like a driver who just kind of pointed their way in could win the championship instead of a guy who gets like 15 wins. You could win every race besides 1 race in the whole entire season and not win the championship, which in my opinion is really freaking stupid, but it is what it is. But yeah, let's get right into this. So we have, I already said the first round, which is the first round is Las Vegas, Richmond, and Dover, or Las Vegas, Richmond, and the Charlotte Roval. So let's show the next round. We're going to undo this. So we have Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, Kyle Larson, Clint Boyer, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, Kurt Busch, Chase Elliott, Eric Jones, and Jimmy Johnson, which means we eliminated Austin Dillon, Ryan Blaney, Eric Almirola, and Alex Bowman. I eliminated Alex Bowman because I don't really think he's going to have a shot. I mean, Richmond, he didn't do amazing. You know, he didn't really do that well at Las Vegas. He just kind of got like top 15 finishes. Not really anything to brag about, so I don't really think he has a really good shot at those tracks. And then the Roval is just such an unknown. I believe he was one of the guys who crashed in the testing for that race back in July, so I don't really see him succeeding. But yeah, so Bowman, I eliminated him because of that. Almirola, I think Vegas might be his best chance. Maybe Richmond, because I mean he did pretty good at Bristol, but and then he ended up getting a penalty or having to come down pit road for some issue. I don't quite remember what it was, but Almirola did really good at the beginning of the season and then just hasn't really done great since then. So I see him getting eliminated in the first round of the chase. I'm calling it the chase. It's the chase. It's the chase. See him getting eliminated in the first round of the chase. So that's why I see Almirola not moving on to the next round. And plus, just the Roval, it's so unexpected because we've never been there. We have only had a few test sessions. So I see Austin Dillon getting eliminated from the first round of the chase, honestly, because just he hasn't really done anything. He got like a top 5 at Michigan, and that was pretty cool. But other than that, besides the Daytona 500 win, which is the reason he's in the chase, he really hasn't done anything. And points-wise, he's actually 19th in points, so he really does not deserve to be in the chase. 19th in points. It's kind of a rigged system. Just winning, you're in. I think Dillon is a great driver, but I just don't. I don't know why he's not really, hasn't performed that high this year. Because Childress, I mean, it's probably because Childress is not really a good team anymore. They have Ryan Newman. and they just aren't doing good. So that sucks for Dylan, but I mean, every year that he's been in the chase, he's been in the chase twice, and I think he got eliminated in the first round of like the first year that he was in it, I believe, and then like last year I think he got eliminated in the first round too. So I just don't see him doing that well because he's like 19th in actual points. So, and then Blaney I think really has the best shot of all these guys of moving on, but I just don't see it because he pointed his way in. So I guess, he had to have consistency, which is good, but I mean, he had a lot of good finishes and a lot of good runs early in the season, but since then he just hasn't really done that good. He had a lot of laps led early in the season, then he just kind of kept wrecking out of races and just, got top 15s, which is really the reason he's in. So it sucks that Blaney has to do this, but I think he's just going to be eliminated in the first round of the chase. So that's what's going to happen. Johnson, I had him moving on because Richmond's a good track for him. He's won there before. Vegas, it's a 1.5 miles. He's done okay at 1.5 miles this year. So I see him pointing his way in. And then the unknown of the Roval. I just think he's going to move on, in my opinion. Chase Elliott, I think, obviously Richmond, at a shorter track, he's really good at those. He almost won the spring race at Richmond. He wrecked out at Las Vegas, but that was kind of, he got into trouble. Denny Hamlin, Richmond, is in there too. He's really good at Richmond, and plus he just has enough of like a points, I think he's just going to do good. Brad Keselowski, same as that. I think he's just going to do good. Clint Boyer, road courses in there. He's done okay at road courses this season and in the past, so I see him doing pretty good there. Larson, obviously. Richmond is in there, so that's not going to work out, but I just see him pointing his way through the round. Harvick, I see him maybe winning Las Vegas. I'm not going to predict who I think is going to win the races. I'm going to say, he has a good shot at winning Las Vegas. Same with Screw-X. He has a good shot at either winning Las Vegas or the Roval because it's a road course. Kyle Busch, I don't see him really winning Las Vegas, but Richmond, he won the spring race there. And then the Roval, I just think he has the best shot. I see him having the best shot at the Roval because he did testing before anybody else did, and he's just a really good road course racer. So I think he'll probably win that race. Plus, I just wanted to get all 36, or not all 36 wins, all 24 tracks that he's won at, because he's won at every track in Charlotte. It's at Charlotte. The Roval's at Charlotte. So I guess it's the same track, but it's just not the same course. So I wanted to get a win at every active track. Even though he has a win at Charlotte, and it's the same place, it's just not the same track. But, also him, Harvick, and Truex just all have a lot of playoff points built up. So I just see them kind of moving on, regardless of really... unless they finish last, like, every week in the playoffs and don't win, like, any stages or get any stage points, I don't foresee them, not advancing into the contender round. So we're going to move right on to the round of 8. Can we move? There we go. The round of 8 involves Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, and Jimmy Johnson. So I see Eric Jones, Kurt Busch, Joey Logano, and Clint Boyer getting knocked out of the contender round at the end of the 3 races, which is Dover, Kansas, and Talladega. I think that's the order. No, it's Dover, Talladega, Kansas. Dover used to be the final race of the Challenger round, but then they put the Roval in, and they moved it up a week, I think. I'm not sure exactly how it happened, but they put the Roval in, and they put Richmond and Vegas. So they just moved the whole schedule around for the first round of the chase. The first 4 races of the Chase just got all flubbered around. They got rid of New Hampshire. But, yeah, Dover is now the first race of the contender round, which I'm actually going to that race, so I'm pretty excited for that. It's probably going to be a lame race, but, I mean, every race I've been to besides, like, one of them has been pretty cool, so a lot of weird events have happened in all of them, like Brian Vickers winning, and, like, Ricky Stenhouse and Danica Patrick wrecking together. So weird. So weird. And then, like, Jamie McMurray, the other race that I went to, like, he ran out of, like, radio communication, so the pit guys had to, like, stand up on their box with, like, a big sign saying for him to save fuel. I think that happened at one of the races I went to, I'm pretty sure. And then, like, Newman and McDowell got into, like, a big crash at Watkins Glen. And then the other one, just not much happened. And then the other one, also not much happened. It was just a pretty good race, though. But yeah, that happened. So pretty much every race I've been to, something strange just happened. So maybe something will happen. Also, probably with my luck, it'll be an incredibly boring race, but Dover usually is. But yeah, I predicted that Kurt Busch, Eric Jones, Clint Bowyer, and Joey Logano will get eliminated. I mean, Joey Logano has a good shot at in the contender round. He has a good shot at Talladega, but I mean, he won Talladega in the spring race, but I see people other than him doing really good at Talladega and him really not advancing. He'll probably get involved in some big wreck, and then Kansas, something stupid will happen to him. And obviously Dover, he's just never really done good at Dover, so I just see him kind of barely, like, being that one guy who just barely doesn't make it in. It'll be like a race at the end of Kansas, and he'll just barely not make it in by, like, 3 points. That's what I foresee. Him getting in some trouble at Talladega, and then just barely not making it in. And then, who else did I have out? Clint Bowyer, I just don't foresee, maybe Kansas. He might do good at that track, but I just don't see anything happening. And then Dover might actually be his best chance because he almost won the Dover spring race, but they actually went back green after the rain delay, so that didn't happen. It would have been really cool to see him win that race, though. I actually wanted it to keep raining because I wanted him to win that race, but then he would have won 2 rain-shortened races. He's done really good at every rained race, or delayed, like Martinsville. That was a snow delay. Then he won that race. Dover, they almost shortened it, but they got back racing. And Clint Bowyer would have won that. And then Michigan, they actually shortened, and then he did win that. And then Indianapolis, which was postponed, he had a really good shot at winning that. I think if there was like 10 more laps, he might have won that race. Or not 10 more laps, but like if there was no cautions, he probably would have won that race. So he's done really good at every rained race this season, which is just weird to me. But yeah, Dover he might have a good shot at, but I mean that was like his only race recently that he's done good at Dover. He's just good with Stuart Haas. So, I mean, if he does move on to the round of 8, though, I think Martinsville is a really good shot for him, but I don't foresee him moving on. I know the races that is in the round of 8 might make you disagree with me, but I just don't see it. It's my opinions. So, Eric Jones, I mean, Dover, I think I'll get a top 10 at Dover, but then he'll probably wreck at Talladega. He'll either wreck at Talladega or he'll win at Talladega. That's my prediction. Because he won Daytona in the summer race, so that's just something I foresee happening. And then Kansas, I mean, he wrecked at Kansas last year, so I just don't foresee that being a good round for any of them. And then Kurt Busch, he just always gets eliminated. Didn't he make it to the round of 8, though, last year? I don't know. One year he made it to like the round of 16 and then didn't get past it. And then another year was like the round of 12. And then another year I think it was the round of 16. But last year I think it was like the round of 8 he actually made it up to. Or no, 2015 he made it to the round of 8. And then he got screwed over at Phoenix because like he started second, but apparently like he jumped the initial start, which is just absolutely ridiculous. And then the rain got shortened, basically, so Junior would win, which is absolutely 100% ridiculous. Kind of wish they had an attempt to go back racing. They also just drove around under caution for like 20 minutes, just waiting for the rain to come because they knew Junior was leading. And then they just made no attempt to drive the track after that, so it was rigged. And then they just penalized him, which is absolutely ridiculous. But honestly, in 2015... If Dale Jr. got one more inch, he would have won Talladega and moved on to the round of 8. And then he won Phoenix, so he would have been on to the Homestead race. So, imagine Jr. in the Final Four. But, yeah, Kurt Busch just got screwed out of so many chases, and it's kind of ridiculous. But the round of 8, I mean, he's probably going to get caught up at Talladega wreck, and then something stupid is probably going to happen at Dover. And then Kansas, I think, like, he'll just also be, like, a few points out, and then just won't make it in. That's just my prediction. All right, so let's move on to the Final Four. So, so this is my Final Four. We have Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, and Kyle Larson. So the eliminated round consists of Martinsville, Texas, and Phoenix. And I just have, like, the guys that I really think have been the best this season. I've heard a lot of people saying that they think one of the guys in the big 3 won't make it into the Final Four, but I mean, that's what's I will give NASCAR props. It's been making it interesting because, like, there's the big 3, and then there's just that one other guy. There's that one other guy who's like the unknown. It's like, you know, we've all been thinking either Larson or Boyer, but recently it's been like Brad Keselowski. But I just see Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, and Jimmy Johnson getting eliminated from the round of 8. I know Johnson has Martinsville, which he could win at. Never count out Jimmy Johnson. But Martinsville, like in the spring race, he just didn't do too good at. And there's also Texas for him, but I mean, he's just not been good this year. He really hasn't. And then Denny Hamlin also has Martinsville, but something stupid's going to happen. He's not going to make it to the Final Four, I can tell you that much. Brad Keselowski, too. I mean, Martinsville's been one of his good tracks, but I just think, you know, everybody in the Final Four, besides Larson, you know, will just have enough playoff points to make it in. They'll just kind of be like how Truex did last year. Like, coming into Phoenix, he was locked in, even though he didn't have the win. But then there'll be one more spot opened up, and I just think Larson will make it in. He might have, like, here's how I foresee Larson. He'll either have, like, Tony Stewart 2011, where he sucks the entire year, and then somehow makes it into the chase, and then just dominates the entire chase and wins the championship, which is actually what I said. Larson is going to win the championship. I say this because if he makes it to the Final Four, Homestead is his best track by far. He said in interviews that Homestead is his favorite track, which obviously means he's good at it. You wouldn't have a favorite track if you sucked at it. I mean, unless if you, like, went there as a kid and then just, like, sucked at the racetrack. Like New Hampshire, probably for Martin Truex, and then he just kind of sucks there. So, yeah, Larson, Homestead is his best track. So if he makes it to Homestead, I think he's going to win the championship. I mean, you know, also I don't want to sound like a cum, you know, just saying that Kyle Busch will win. Even though it's either going to be, it's really going to be between Larson and Kyle Busch. It's going to be the Kyle and Kyle show for the championship. What if you saw a Chicagoland finish for the championship? I mean, that'd be interesting for, like, a Final 2, but not for the Final 4. I kind of hate this system because it's like, I think the Final Four is kind of ridiculous. I like the Final Two, you know? I think, like, I think it should be, like, the round of 12, the round of 8, the round of 4, and then the round of 2. I kind of feel like that should be, not the round of 16, you know? Like, this round would be the round of 12, then this would be the round of 8, this would be the round of 4, and then it'd be the finals. Imagine that hype for that entire week. The round of 2. That'd be so awesome. That would be just so amazing. I mean, I would actually be down for the chase if they made that system. That'd be awesome. Because then, like, these 3 races would be, like, the semifinals, you know? But I'm not really sure, like, how they would... Maybe they just do points. Like, you don't... It's not the win and you're in nonsense. It's just points. Like, I think the win and you're in thing is just stupid. Like, it's by pure points. I really like that. I mean... Or if it's not going to be that, just have, like, the championship be how it used to be. Without any chase whatsoever. But no. I actually like that idea. Because there'd be some races where, like... You know, you come into Homestead already knowing who the champion is. Like, the champion used to be able to lock up his position, like, 10 years before it even happened. But now it all comes down to the final lap. But no, that'd be the perfect, honestly, the perfect system. But yeah, that's my prediction for the 2018 NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series playoffs. Who do you guys think this is all going to be? I know mine might not be the best, but I was also kind of coming up with it on the spot. And then I really thought, like, you know, who's been the most consistent this season? I didn't really think about all the tracks. I just kind of thought about who's the most consistent this season. And then I kind of did put it in consideration the tracks. But this is my predictions. You guys might think it's crazy, but, I mean, it's my predictions. But yeah, guys, if you guys like this video, please leave a like on it. If you dislike this video, please leave a dislike and a hate comment telling me exactly what I did wrong. Be sure to subscribe to notifications, and as always, goodbye, bunny rabbits.